my name is Kenneth Odvar. I'm the CEO and founder of Quartal. We are a market entry and venture building firm. So we're specialized on making sure that international companies, when they set up the business here in Sweden, that it goes very smoothly and without any hassle. You can shift next page. Exactly. And we do that by providing services that covers our clients' complete life cycle. So it's everything from preparation, incorporation, even exit. Because our goal is to make sure that our clients, when they are working here in Sweden and setting up the business, that they can perform the same confidence when they have at their home domestic market. Because we understand the challenges they might encounter here on the Swedish market. Our service covers our clients' complete life cycle, and it's everything from the preparation services to more concrete, which is the incorporation, when we actually provide either a shelf company, a ready-made company, or we do incorporation or setting up a branch, and then develop it, and then also providing services on business development, as we call it, product development. Here, when it comes to more digital services such as SaaS, creating digital platforms, and even physical products. Since we focus a lot of fast-moving consumer products, which is one of our specialties. So after setting up our business, we also provide management services such as accounting, administration, so making sure that they won't have any issues with tax authorities or any governmental institution, more or less, when they're here. And marketing design is also a crucial part of it, because our clients sometimes when they expand to the Swedish market, they need to adapt their product to the Swedish one or the Scandinavian one. So we provide services that covers that whole initial process. Next slide, please. And then more when it comes to growth-oriented services, such as having the right skill set and the right management. So we provide interim CEOs, COOs, and also board members which have the right competences, what they're looking for. And we also provide merger acquisition. So our clients who wish to expand to Sweden in the more concrete context of foreign direct investment, we say financial transaction based, or just acquiring actual physical entity and developing into their own business entity, we provide that service also. And since we have a huge variety of services and also a huge variety of clients, and everything from all small and humble startups to more established corporate entities, so we provide funding and investment service for both segments. When it comes to startups, we have a lot of clients which have approached us that they want to expand the business here in Sweden, and we see that there's a huge potential to reach a full success here, but the client doesn't have the financial backbone which is necessary. So we provide funding services, so we can make sure that our client have the financial backbone to expand in the Swedish market. At the same time, also we have multinational companies which are looking for smaller companies to acquire to develop develop internal services they have, or they're more into maybe setting up a new subsidiary that will be an extension of the company. And last but not least, we have venture management, which is more or less we in short terms take over the company in behalf of our client and manage it from everything as a current context, or develop it from product and services to up to the board management, so that the company makes sure that this organization where we comes in are performing in a satisfied manner, at least in the initial start. So to spot some facts and figures into Sweden, why Sweden is this attractive company and why country, and as I told before, Swedish has a track record, and we will just focus on the most distinguished facts, which are based on how we work as Kvartshall as a company. And if we just look at the foreign direct investment stock in general in Sweden, it's around 409 billion US dollars. And despite this epidemic, despite the the projection was that there'll be a decrease on the foreign direct investment inflow, but instead we had an increase of 158% 2020, and that makes us the 10th biggest country in the world of taking foreign direct investments. And one of the reasons we believe is believed to this high volume of inflow is based on American subsidiaries here in Sweden, on affiliates, which have received governmental loans and which have helped to boost the economy. At the same time, also Sweden is a highly tech-savvy country, and which have helped a lot of foreign direct investors to push in some money into SaaS-oriented companies, or how call it, tech-oriented companies, e-commerce, for example, which have boosted the market in foreign direct investment. And at the same time, we also are the 11th biggest investor in Sweden, since we had this quite impressive recovery, financial recovery of foreign direct investment, has also given the country confidence to continue investing in other countries, which we have been doing for quite some time, and also providing benefits and grants to countries which have very close ties, but doesn't have the financial strength to cope with the current situation, the COVID situation. And Sweden is considered as Stockholm, more or less, is considered Silicon Valley of Europe. Why? Because we have 10% of the total unicorn volume in Europe in Sweden, and that's 7 unicorns. In Europe, we have around 70 unicorns. Unicorn is, by the way, a company, specifically a startup or a tech-oriented company, have a market valuation of 1 billion US dollars. And in the context of the size of Sweden, so it's a high density of highly valuable companies, especially in Stockholm, where we are in the 3rd place. UK number 1, have a market cap of 110 billion US dollars. Germany number 2, 30 billion US dollars, and Sweden have around 16 billion dollars. And at the same time, we also look at that Sweden is a very attractive country. According to Innovation Index, Competitive Index, and Attractive Index, which are reported by UNITAD and World Economic Forum's report, Sweden is considered having a rate of 8 of 10 when it comes to the attractiveness. And the reason we are having this high is because we have a very stable governmental and stable political structure. It's a highly sophisticated society where high education and access to free healthcare and free education, and the general stuff, fundamental stuff to make a country successful. And Sweden has met these targets, but we are lacking in 2 points, and that's because of we have a higher rate of unemployment and housing, and this has become a big issue for tech companies in Sweden. Spotify, for example, which expanded to USA because of they have difficulty to find housing for employees. But why Sweden? Well, with all these factors which I discussed before, Sweden is more or less the home of tech unicorn corporate giants, period. I mean, like we have corporate giants, we have Volvo, we have Ericsson, we have Esquire, really big multinational companies which you can find in each and every component, either directly or indirectly. Your cell phone, your car, what you're wearing. And then we talk about tech sector. We have big pioneers such as Skype, which has opened up, so why we're having this kind of video conference, and Spotify and Klarna and Mojang, and a lot of successful companies. And how come that we have these successful companies? It's all based on, call it traits, we call it. We're very easy to start business here in Sweden. We have access to EU and other Nordic countries because of the positioning of Sweden. The country is highly innovative, based on the research-oriented country we have, and the close collaboration with the free education and the reputation of our research facilities. And we have a highly skilled workforce. Same thing here. We have, as I said, we have free healthcare, we have free education, which have been fundamental, and the life quality in general is very, very high in Sweden. And Sweden is considered for international hub, as Stockholm of Taiwan, and Gothenburg number 2, and Malmö number 3, which are instant access to Europe, just 20 minutes with the train. And we have a very stable advanced infrastructure. We're one of the pioneers to implement bredband, which is the broadband, which came around around late 1990s and 2000. And so each and every home have more or less a computer and access to internet. And we have also access to top-notch research facilities, which enable us to become successful. We have KTH, Chalmers, and Lund, a lot of very, very prominent universities here.
Sorry.
Yes, we have a huge variety of clients, but most of the clients we're focused on are either they are tech-oriented or innovation-oriented. And we make sure that if our clients doesn't have implement their sustainability or our environmental adaptation, we make sure to do that when they're onboarding. Video Intelligence is one of our Swiss clients we approached a couple of years ago, and they were set up the 10th subsidiary in 10th subsidiary, and the ones have in Sweden. At the same time, needed help to recruit a head of Nordics, which take care of their sales more or less. The company are focused on AI-based video streaming, so everything you Google and search and everything. So when you go to a website with a video streaming, for example, if you're into cars or like football, that's what you're going to see when you go to any particular website that have a video streaming, because it's based on what you have, your data you have been with typing in when you're Googling or using other websites. So we helped them to employ a head of Nordics, and it was a small project, took us 6 months to complete, 3 to 6 months to complete. Next slide. This was Supermama, is a company which are run by a Lithuanian company. They are well established in the home market and wanted to penetrate the Swedish market. And to do it, we had to make them stick out in the Swedish market quite heavily, and do it to make it in a funny way, maybe in a way that erupts emotions. So with this project, which were more extensive, our previous one was to do a complete product development and venture management service also. When we took the current product and redesigned it, everything from name, branding, and also segment. So we came up with this brand called Supermama, which is it's a glue for females. And I know that it's a little sensitive, but our aim was to be, how to call it, not prosecuted, but we wanted to be, got attention of the discrimination and advertising ombudsman. The other one which are regulated if advertisement is offensive or not. And since this was more of guerrilla marketing or satiric marketing, so we wanted to have them knocking our doors, and we managed that by launching this company on a political event called Almedalen. It's Sweden's biggest political event, and we launched it. Why there? That we want to have the power holders to also draw attention to what we're actually doing. And quite quickly we ended up in the newspapers because there was a lot of people had they were emotionally evoked by our marketing campaign. But that was our part of strategy to later on to push away Supermama and push on the real products, and which you can now find in I think 30 shops. And this was right before the COVID situation, so we haven't been able to continue with this project due to the COVID. Next slide. And Lavashis is one of our first clients. It's an Icelandic startup. It came up with a product of that to want to provide a cheese snack that works for more or less every occasion, even just drinking a beer or take a glass of wine, or to more sophisticated when you have canapés with caviar and some champagne. And this client approached us, needed help to more or less with everything, set up the whole business as it did in Iceland, but in Sweden, but with the assistance of the CEO. So we provided services that involved incorporation, recruitment, buying manufacturing product, setting up facility, setting up logistic partner, doing investment round because they didn't have a strong financial backbone. So we helped out with that part. So we executed the investment round at the embassy, the Icelandic embassy in Stockholm, and then also at the ambassador's residence. And it was quite a successful investment round. We managed to reach the investment round in 10 minutes since we used a digital crowdfunding platform. And we closed it after 10 days when we reached 210% of the investment capital. And we appointed a chairman also to that firm. So, and we are a small and a humble team with our core team. Which are more or less individuals with from management consulting industry, banking, and tech, and we are supported by an extended team. We have have a long political background and political history, which we are providing in our services. So we are able to meet the highest and most challenging requirements from our clients. So that was a small presentation or short presentation about Quartzo and who we are. And if you're willing to get to know us better, please don't hesitate to write an email, fika@quartzo.se, or check out our website or give a call. So that was